I wanted to make this video. A lot of people don't really know my backstory, and I wanted to have this as something maybe people can relate to, some people can resonate with. I feel like a lot of people don't know that I've actually only been doing singing and comedy for like a year and a half, especially comedy. Like comedy I started probably like a year ago. I sang my whole life growing up, but I quit when I was like 17, and then I didn't start singing again until I was like almost 29. Crazy times. I was born and raised in a town called Scarborough, Maine. It's like 15 minutes south of Portland. I had the white picket fence, American dream family, middle class. I had 2 brothers. I was the middle child. My mom and my dad were happily married until they decided that they hated each other. Don't they all? Don't they all? And I remember from when I was like out of the womb, basically singing, dancing, trying to perform, trying to be on tape. I was trying to get my mom to videotape literally everything that I did. I would spend hours and hours and hours in my room every night singing, writing songs, pretending I was on stage with, you know, with the hairbrush, whatever. And anything that I could do when I was in Scarborough, Maine, like performing wise, I was doing it. I mean, community theater, I was taking dance lessons, singing lessons. I went to chorus camp. Pretty much every day after school, I either had dance lessons, singing lessons. I also played the piano, guitar. I played the French horn. I was in Girl Singers of Maine, and then I did community theater shows. I would sing national anthems. I was involved with school musicals and chorus in school and all that. My entire life growing up literally was singing. I wanted to be on Broadway. I wanted to be like the next Britney Spears. I was obsessed with Britney Spears. I like begged my mom to like put on like a Britney Spears concert in high school and like let me like sing all the Britney Spears songs. And she said no, like, what a fucking bitch. I can't believe she would do that to me. All I wanted to do was sing. All I wanted to do was perform. I wanted to be on stage in any capacity. That was my dream. Like, that was everything to me. I was probably like a freshman in high school. My parents got divorced. Singing and music and performing and being involved with theater was like my sanity. It was my stress relief. It was all I wanted to do. Really, up until I was 17, it was like, there was no other option. Like, it was either be a famous singer and, you know, actress or whatever, or perish and die. When I was 17, I remember my singing teacher, my mom, my dad, and we kind of had this discussion on like, what do you want to do when you graduate high school? I was like, I want to go to either if I have to go to like a college, I want to go to musical theater school, or like I want to move to New York City and be a singer, be a performer. And, you know, everyone was like, no, honestly, like, no, though. You know, if you look back, obviously, like, I was 17 at the time, so it's like, my perspective was that people were like, you know, my parents, my teachers were all basically telling me that it was a no for them. It's just not realistic. It's cute. What you're doing is cute. Singing and acting, you can do it on the side. You can do it for fun, but it's not a real job. I was heartbroken. There's no other option other than you go to college and get like a business degree or something that's actually useful that you can use in the real world. And singing and performing and musical theater degrees, like, what are you going to do with that? Are you going to be like a music teacher? And I was like, no, like, I want to be like on Broadway. And they'd be like, that's hilarious. I was so heartbroken and like so taken back that I just quit everything. It was like a junior in high school, like ready to go into my senior year, and I just quit. I quit all my singing lessons. I quit playing piano. I quit all my instruments. I quit dancing. I quit chorus. I just stopped all of it. I was like, well, then if there's no point in me doing this, like, why am I doing this? It's almost like too sad to do it because all I knew was that. And I was like, if I can't do this for the rest of my life and have this be like my main thing, then I don't want to, like, it's too sad. It just like makes me sad because this was my only dream. So I quit. I just cold turkey quit everything. My senior year of high school, like, I was like, fine, I'll just join some fucking stupid sports then. So I joined like cheerleading, ice hockey. It was a hot mess. So I went to college, got the business degree, got the corporate job. As soon as I got out of college, I got an inside sales job, which again, my parents told me to do. And I actually did really well because I'm pretty good at sales, not gonna lie. And I actually got promoted to move to Stanford to be an outside sales rep. And I remember at the time, there were a couple other territories open, but I got the Stanford, Connecticut territory. I was like, that's so interesting. It's like 30 miles outside New York City. And I was so excited about that. You know, in the back of my head, I'm like, oh my God, I always wanted to live in New York City. I wanted to be on Broadway. It's like so stupid. Like, I'm such an idiot. Like, who would ever do that? But, you know, like I always wanted to live in New York City. So I moved to Stanford, and probably when I'm like 25. When I finally moved to Stanford, I mean, ever since even like graduating college, I had a hard time. As soon as I stopped doing music and stopped performing, that's when I noticed that like a lot of my severe anxiety and depression started to set in, because I didn't really have any other ways to cope with it. Singing and music and performing was my coping mechanism, and when I didn't have that, you know, it was turning to alcohol and prescription drugs and other drugs and other things and other things. And even like in college, you know, like I would have these panic attacks, and I'm like, I don't know why I keep having these panic attacks. And I'd go see psychologist after psychologist, and I'd try all these different antidepressants and anti-anxiety medication. As soon as I even got into this corporate job, and it was a different type of stress, I began then smoking cigarettes, and I was smoking a lot. I ended up like to the point where I was smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day. I also gained about 50 pounds-ish. You know, I was pushing 200 pounds. I had fast food every day. I just was not treating myself well. I wasn't exercising. Just my mental health wasn't great. I would think I was on like 6 or 7 different prescription medications at the time for anxiety, depression, sleeping. I could never sleep. I had really bad sleeping problems. I also then had really bad skin issues. Like I would break out in rashes all over my legs, where it looked like I thought that I had ringworm. Like, and my friends used to joke, I'm like, I think I have like ringworm, because I would have these huge patches of like itchy rashes. It was also like an anxiety thing. Also had really bad acid reflux. I had really bad stomach issues because I was eating like shit. It got to the point where I was like turning 28, and I was like, all right, I'm 28 and I have this corporate job. I had the 9-to-5 corporate job that, you know, everybody wanted me to have. Got a house, and I was living in Stanford with my boyfriend. I had my 4 cats, my dog. All right, why am I still have so much anxiety? I constantly felt sick, and I was like, all right, something's got to give. Something's not right. I'm financially secure, but I'm not happy. I'm not sleeping. I'm sick. I'm overweight. I'm doing all these horrible things to my body. So I had almost like this come to Jesus moment. I remember this energy worker that I was dealing with. She was like, listen to yourself. Like, you know deep down what you need and what you want and what's going to get you out of this. You just need to listen and be open and listen and look for signs from the universe. I'm like, okay, how do I figure out what's going to like make me better or like heal me, other than obviously like I needed to eat better and exercise and do all those things as well. I remember my dad called me, and he was like, hey, you know, I know you've been into funk. Like, have you thought about maybe doing singing lessons? And again, this is when I'm 28 and hadn't sang for over 10 years. And I was like, no, why would I do that? I thought about it, and I remember the next day I was like, oh my God. You know, I'd never even thought about singing again. It literally didn't even cross my mind. Like, it wasn't even a thought. But the fact that my dad brought it up, I was like, And I remember I just started Googling like singing lessons in Stamford, Connecticut. And I found this place that was mostly geared for like like middle schoolers. And I signed up. I signed up for like just like a beginner's lesson, just like to try it out. I remember when I went in, and I was so nervous, and I almost canceled like 5 times. Like, there were times when I was like, this is like the stupidest thing I've ever done. I'm just gonna cancel this. What's the worst that's gonna happen? He's gonna say that I suck, and then I leave. So I went, and of course, like, to be singing, like, even like doing the warm-ups, I was like, like, maybe, or the guy was just like, you're like really good. Have you definitely sang before? Like, you sang, you know? And still, like, I didn't even, like, if people asked me like if I sang like 2 years ago, I'd been like, no, I don't sing. I like blacked out that point in my life, like when I was singing and doing music and performing. It's like it felt like that part of me died, and it literally just like blossomed. I mean, within like 2 weeks, you know, I was like, holy shit, this is what I've been missing. I think like literally the next day I stopped smoking cigarettes. I got on an exercise and nutrition program. And I remember too, at that point, so like 2 years ago, I think I had like 300 followers on Instagram. I remember I started posting videos of me singing on Instagram, and I had like 10 views, but people would be like, oh my God, you're really good. So I get more confident, and then I started doing open mics, and I started posting more, and then I joined a band, and then it just started rolling. I started getting into performing again, and then I was like, I forgot how much I love performing. It was like, I just want to do it as much as possible. Started getting into comedy, and I fucking loved it. I never even thought that comedy was even a thing that I could even do. Like, I literally, when people are like, you should do comedy, I'm like, what? How does that work? I don't even know how to even start. Like, I don't even know what that means. Like, you should do comedy? Okay. And it's just, it's crazy how the last 2 years have changed my entire life, and like what's happened between when I turned 28 and working with that energy healer and kind of like that come to Jesus moment that I have and that phone call with my dad to now. And I kick myself every day. I'm like, what if I had started like when I was 26? Or like, what if I had never just like given it up and like just kept going, or like didn't listen to all these people who just told me that I would never do anything and that I was never good enough and that it wasn't worth it and wasn't realistic. And then I also think too, it's like, obviously I'm a big believer in the universe is on our side and is always doing things for us. Maybe there was this part where like I would have had a really tough time. Maybe I needed to wait till now to really find myself again and really be so secure in myself that I know what I want now and I know how big of a piece this is in my life, and I am that much more confident and feel that much better going into auditions and putting my stuff out there on the internet. Again, I think if anything, like when people like ask, you know, what's the biggest like lesson you've taken from your journey, I think for me it really was listening to myself. Who cares what this person says, what this person said? I need to listen to me and what I want more than ever. Like, I know that like I have to believe in myself when everyone else is not going to believe in me and say I can't make it, I'm not good enough. I have to believe that I can. I hope that I also can inspire others who want to get into singing or want to dance or want to act or want to play an instrument, or you want to paint, or you want to do another career that people are telling you want to, you know, be a TikToker, you want to be like an influencer or content, do it. And like, as long as you're listening to yourself, that's all that matters. Fuck everybody else. If you love it and if you're passionate about it and if it brings you joy, then you have to do it. I always like love that quote that it's like, if there's something inside you that's telling you to do something, it's there for a reason. So you have to listen to it and you have to listen to yourself and you have to be true to yourself. And hopefully maybe that resonates a little bit. Maybe it's not even with singing or performing, but maybe in another aspect of your life. So, love you.